Guys, welcome back to another brand new video. This video will cover the shading portion of the drawing which I did in my previous video. So what I'll be giving to you guys are some basic and essential tips that will aid and enable you to achieve a wonderful piece just like the one you see in this video. Firstly, it is essential that you are able to identify these three important areas on your reference image. Number one, the dark tones. These are dark areas such as the shadows. Number two, we have the light tones. These are the light areas, that is those areas that are in contact with light, or those areas where the light is reflecting from. And then lastly, we have the mid-tones. These are those areas that form or give a smooth transition between the dark areas and the light areas. As a beginner, if you find it difficult to identify these three areas on your reference image, I advise you to make use of your photo editor, or you could even make use of a grid line maker, just as you can see, to convert the image to black and white. Now the reason for this is that because we are working with black pencil and a white piece of paper, we are also working with black and white. So changing the image to black and white makes it easier to identify these three areas and apply them to your drawing. So now let's get into it. It is very important that you grip your pencil in a very flexible manner. So you hold your pencil just like this. This is so that you can achieve a very smooth and uniform shading and avoid making rough and unnecessary dark strokes. So your shading needs to be even. Now I'm making use of the HB pencil. So I figured out that majority of beginners are scared of drawing the facial features. I know this because when I started out drawing, I thought so too. Why is because based on our perception, the facial features are the most difficult parts to draw from any image. From learning from others, I discovered that beginning from the facial features will enable me overcome that fear, and I will find the remaining portion of the drawing very easy. So it's a tip, guys. That is why I'm starting with the facial features. To begin any shading, you first start with the undertone, which is the first layer of shading and the lightest layer. So in this layer, we make use of a very light pencil. For me, I make use of the HB pencil, but you could make use of lighter pencils too. Then we follow over this layer with the mid-tone. Here we make use of a darker layer, either by going over with the same pencil, by adding a bit of pressure, or by using a higher grade pencil like 2B pencil. After creating this mid-tone, I blend in with the help of a soft brush. Here I'm making use of a makeup brush to smoothen out my shading. Then we go in with a very dark pencil, but add very little pressure to it to gain the dark tones and shadows. Those darker areas, that is those areas that are extremely dark, we can add more pressure to our pencil, that is our dark pencil. Here I make use of the 6B pencil. So generally, to get each layer, we switch and interchange between pencils based on the layer we wish to achieve. You can keep on adding layers until you are satisfied with the intensity of the darker tone. Also, you can make use of the eraser to erase out those highlighted portions in order to bring out those areas where light is reflecting upon the most. What I have just explained to you guys is the simple and basic principle behind getting a realistic shading and giving your drawing depth. So whatsoever portion of this drawing that you see me shading, don't be startled, it's nothing fancy. I just make use of this same principle over and over and over again. So just in a circle until I am satisfied with my drawing. So sorry about the strap, the gun holster strap. I made use of a dark pencil, but it was not dark enough, so I just improvised. So bear with me, guys. I did not have the proper materials to use for this drawing. So before I forget, I made use of both the makeup brush and a cutting board to blend. So you don't really need expensive materials to achieve a drawing like this. Just as I told you guys earlier, I don't have those expensive pencils, so I just improvise with what I have. So I used the brush to blend in larger areas, while the cutting board is to blend in smaller areas more smoothly and finely. Also, guys, pay attention to some crucial details from your reference image and try to bring them out in your drawing. But mind you, do not dwell too much on trying to get in every single detail, like every tiny detail that you see, because then you may end up spoiling your work. I'm not good at realism, in case you guys don't know. So we are not after realism, but what I'm trying to achieve is to teach you guys as beginners, to give you those simple tips as beginners, so that you know how you can get and achieve a drawing like this. So our aim here is to get as much similarities and resemblance to the reference image. The trick to drawing is very simple, as I've explained. So we just go over layer by layer, layer by layer. So when we go with a lighter layer, we then darken it with a more darker pencil, and then if we are not satisfied, then we go over with another layer. So I use this same process to draw, to bring out the holster, and then I follow it according to the way I see it, according to the way I see it from the reference image. And then those areas that are dark, I darken them. Those areas that are light, that is the where light is reflecting, I make use of my eraser to highlight them, and then I blend in so that I will give it a smooth transition. So that's the essence of the mid-tone. The mid-tone is to blend in, to give a smooth transition between the darker tones and the lighter tone. So that is what I do. So I try to get in as much details as I can without over emphasizing them, so that I don't spoil my work, or I don't make the work look untidy. So as you guys can see, I'm going in with some details, and I'm trying to bring out as much details as I can. Even from the wristwatch, I'm trying to bring out as much details as I can, that I can see from the reference image. And then I go over layer by layer until I'm satisfied with what I have here. So guys, we are done with the portion of the drawing, that is the body portion of the drawing, and we'll move further to drawing, bringing out the hair. So the trick to drawing the hair is very simple. Is to follow the direction and flow of the hair. Now don't dwell on trying to capture every single strand. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but don't dwell on trying to capture every single strand of the hair. Only those strands that are very visible and maybe isolated, just like the ones that you can see me trying to bring out. So just keep it simple rather than complicating things. So don't try to make it seem difficult, but just keep it simple. After doing this, follow up with a dark layer by shading in the direction of the hair, and then I make use of the eraser to highlight some hair strands that light is reflecting on, and then those very dark areas in the hair, I make use of a dark pencil to bring them out. So I forgot to mention, you can make use of an electric eraser or a pencil eraser if you have one, but since I don't, I just improvised. So I cut my eraser into a very slim and slender form to bring out my hair highlights. So now I'm done with the hair, and then I go back to my drawing and try to figure out and try to find out those small details that I missed out, that I can still bring out to make the drawing look more realistic and look more like the reference image. So therefore I'm bringing out some of those details, like the small tear in the shirt and the tiny tears in the shirt. So I'm trying to bring out those details, and then once I'm done, I still go over the drawing and highlight some areas that require me to highlight them. I still go over by highlighting those areas and still go over my work to ensure that it's alright. So once I'm done, I erase out those areas that will make the work look untidy. So yeah guys, finally we are done with the shading aspect. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell icon to get notified whenever I drop a new video guys. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and yeah, I guess that's all for today.